yoga does make you a better person in so many ways. It's
What's up,
insane.
YouTube?
It's insane. How are you doing today? I'm trusting that your day is amazing so far because that's just the way it is. I'm declaring it. So today I'm actually making a video about something that came up in my mind. The question of the day is, can yoga really make you a better person? And I'm going to be answering that here in my video today. As a yoga practitioner for over 2 years now, I can definitely say that this practice it's shifted my life in various amount of ways. I can't even put a number to it, or I can't even explain how much this practice has changed my life over the course of 2 years. And one thing I realized about change is that change is so gradual. We're very impatient as humans, and we want things to happen yesterday. But we didn't do what it took to make the thing happen. And I completely understand that. I've also been an entrepreneur for the past 2 years as well. And for me, my yoga, my lifestyle, my spirituality, my business, my entrepreneurship, for me, that's all one umbrella. I don't feel that anything is separate in your life. Everything is connected in your life. And, like they say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, even if you're at a job that you don't like, which, that's my current situation right now. I shouldn't even be mentioning that, but let me not even say that it's a job that I don't like. It's just that I know what I want to do in my life. I know that I have a much bigger purpose here on this earth, and there's work to be done. And I'm actually a healer, not in the sense where I can actually touch someone and heal them, but because I've healed myself, I am actually able to do the same for others. And it's not even like a direct thing. It's an osmosis, which means that osmosis. Let's look that up really quick. So I got the definition of osmosis, and osmosis is the process of gradual or unconscious assimilation of ideas and knowledge. So that means that unconsciously I'm actually tapping into people's subconscious to be able to heal themselves because they see that I've done that for myself, if that makes sense. So back to the topic of the day. I'm actually in my yoga teacher training right now, which I'm so excited about, guys. I have been wanting to become a certified yoga teacher since I started 2 years ago. And I thought that you have to pay for the course, which is typically around $3,000. And that's something that's always been in the back of my mind that I've been saving up for. But, I just found some knowledge that you don't have to pay $3,000 to become a yoga teacher. And there's also multiple online yoga teacher trainings that can actually deliver you to your results. You can go through your 200 hours and start working, start working your magic. Sorry guys, this is my first couple of videos, so yeah, bear with me. So the reason why I bring that up is because I'm taking my yoga teacher's training right now, and I'm going to refer to a few concepts. I'm just looking at my laptop now. So I'm referring to a few concepts that actually do make you a better person through yoga off the mat. So there are some fundamental branches, if you will, of yoga. They call them the 8 limbs of yoga, which was actually discovered or created by Patanjali, which is an old sage from India. I'll definitely cover more about Patanjali in the future here on my channel. But today I'm going to talk about two branches of the 8 limbs of yoga. People think that yoga is just like this silly little physical stretching practice that you can do to become limber and flexible and zen. But that is not even the surface of yoga, what yoga really is. And, I'm really happy to actually start having this conversation because I believe that the world needs yoga, and I am going to provide that for the world. I'm going to be a part of that. So what I'm going to discuss today in the video are the yamas and the niyamas, which are two branches in the 8 limbs of yoga. And these are practices that true yogi practices off the mat as well, like on the mat and off the mat throughout their lives to actually, become better people. Yes, yoga does make you a better person in so many ways. It's insane. It's insane. All right, guys. So I'm going to first talk about the yamas, which is actually the first of the 8 limbs of yoga. As true yogis, if you really want to do it right, if you really want to reap the rewards of your practice, there are a code of ethics that we have to follow for the best results in our lives on and off the mat. And this isn't for anybody else. Like, these rules are not like school that you have to do them, but you do them because you want to and because they're actually valuable in your life. And yes, they really do make a difference. Like, everything is energy, and you have to understand that the energy that you put out there is what you receive back. That's just law. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. The yamas are our sense of ethics and personal integrity. It really pertains to our relationships with other people. It involves the way that we respond in our relationships with others, and also the way we present ourselves to others, how we conduct ourselves in those interactions. And many times, this golden rule comes up. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I know we've all heard this before. And it's so true, you know what I mean? Like, everything is energy, and what you put out there is going to come back to you. So the first of the 5 yamas is ahimsa. It's known as nonviolence. So it's not just according to like non-physical violence, but also not harming people, others, or yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. Also yourself. So remember that, this is about being gentle with people. I always like to say, think about your self-talk as if you were talking to a child. You wouldn't talk to a child the way that you talk to yourself in your mind. And that's a little bit of a scary thought because you are with yourself 100% of the time. And the way that your internal dialogue is going, if it's negative, it's going to impact your life all over, all together. And, it starts there. It starts with the word. It starts with the thought, because at the end of the day, we are our thoughts. And our realities are a result of our thoughts. You know what I mean? So, yes, ahimsa it's great to deal with to utilize if you actually deal with any anger or criticism or you're very judgmental of people. This gives you the ability to actually see things as they are as well. Like, you clear your mind of all of that mental chatter telling you you're not good enough. And voila, better person. No, that's not it. But yeah, you know, this is a great practice to always incorporate into your life. The way that this is relevant on your yoga mat is actually to remember to practice nonviolence and non-harming yourself on the mat. So practice with integrity. You know, if something doesn't feel right, if a pose, it feels like you're exerting yourself, you know, it's painful, cut it out, because that's not what yoga is supposed to be, and you can actually injure yourself trying to do something like that. So next, we're going to move on to the second yama, which is satya. And this is the practice of truthfulness. So satya is living in your truth and speaking in your truth at all times. Now, I can understand a lot of you, I can bet a lot of you can understand how important that this is. When you quiet that voice inside of you, when you are not living from a authentic, true space in your life, life can become very miserable. Yeah, living your truth is a lot more, there's a lot more to it than about refraining from lies or being a dishonest person. It's about, you know, knowing yourself and not suppressing your feelings, because there's a reason for every feeling and emotion that you feel. It's your guidance system. And when you suppress them, it's never anything good comes out of that. So honor your feelings, you know, give them the space. And if you don't feel that it's your true feeling, it doesn't matter, because that's not who your feelings are not who you are. You're not your feelings. You're not only that, I should say. You're not victim to that. You're not subject to them. You are in control of them, but they also are here to give you a message. So definitely think about that. Like, if there's any ways that you're not living in your truth, that has to be addressed and corrected immediately, because it's not only it's affecting your life in many different areas, not just this one thing that you think. You know what I mean? So the next one is asteya. And please correct me, anybody in the comments, if I mispronounce any of these words. I'm just beginning my teacher training, and I'm just happy to share it with you all. So asteya, it stands for non-stealing. This is a very important concept, because it's a lot more than about being a thief, like physically. It's about not taking anything. Sorry, I'm stuttering. It's about not taking anything that isn't freely given to you, if that makes sense. There's a quote included here, and it says, "Mankind's greed and craving for artificial needs are also stealing." This is a very deep concept. Asteya, it's about overcoming your greed. You know, a lot of us, most of us, suffer from greed, and it's not that we want to be that way. It's just that, you know, we were programmed a certain way, and a lot of like working on yourself, inner work, healing, it has to do with correcting those patterns. It has to do with reprogramming yourself. Truly, like you're creating a new you, and yoga is a great way to do that, to become a better person. So here it mentions, in order to fully understand asteya, we need to understand what causes the desire to steal. Underneath it all, people steal because they feel inadequate in some way. Lack is the root of all evil. This is something that I really want you all to take away from this video today, is that money is not the root of all evil. Lack is the root of all evil. Why? Because lack is not natural. Look at nature. Nature is so abundant, so bountiful. And lack, and we are nature, one thing. And lack is the direct opposition to that. It's not natural. So, we have to start shifting our mindsets to a more abundant mindset. Okay, so we're moving on to the fourth yama, and please bear with me here because I'm having a very hard time pronouncing this one. It's called brahmacharya, which is the practice of moderation. Moderation is the proper use of energy. And this yama itself is often referred to or was looked at as celibacy, which is actually not the case, and this is why it's always ended up being ignored. And you miss a very fundamental point in this yama if you ignore it, because what it really means is practicing behaviors that lead to higher power, emulating your higher self, if you will. And your higher self is just the future version of yourself that has done everything that you dream of, that you possibly dream of. Your higher self has done that, is that, knows that. So when you're practicing brahmacharya, you're actually connecting with that energy. You're learning how to spin your energy in the right way and moderate things. All things are okay in moderation. And practicing moderation is a great way to conserve energy and saving it for something greater, a greater purpose. I actually just shared this with a Facebook friend today. Transmutation. Transmutation is changing one thing, transforming it from a lower state to a higher state. And you can actually use transmutation, every day in your life. Whenever you feel anger, anxiety, sadness, any of those low vibrations, they can actually be transmuted, and that is energy. So it's amazing because you can use that energy to become a better person. So we're going to move on to the last yama, which is aparigara. Aparigara is the practice of non-attachment. It literally means non-attachment, non-coveting, or non-greed. So when practicing aparigara, you're remembering that worldly possessions, the things of this world, 3D things in this world, they can't actually be possessions because they're always fleeting and they're temporary, and they will one day cease to exist. And if we allow greed to become a part of who we are, we tend to take our eyes off of our true, pure self, our truest self, our soul. And what we're really here for is to enrich our soul. We're not here for these little toys. These toys are just a representation of who we are inside. So definitely consider practicing these yamas. They're amazing. They're so amazing. They make such a difference in your life. And I'm actually going to move on to the niyamas. I'm not going to be able to go as in depth in discussing them because I have to go to work soon. So I'm just going to go ahead and share a brief description of the niyamas as well. So the niyamas are actually about having peace in yourself, within yourself. Our niyamas are about our personal observances and self-discipline. So who you are when nobody's watching. This is our relationship to self, our integrity, who we really are behind closed doors. So the niyamas include how we respond internally to external stimulation and the ability to establish and maintain a sense of self-integrity. If you have a strong religious convictions, this may mean you attend your service regularly or you say grace before your meals. And that's for people who practice religion. They also involve self-care for people who are more spiritual. This may include meditation, self-love, or simply creating time in your busy life schedule to care for yourself. Keep up with your personal observances. Think about being true to yourself. And this comes up once again. I think a big part about becoming a better person is just letting the true you shine through. And that's a realization for me that I just made right now making this video. Wow. So the first niyama is saucha, and this is the practice of purification. So traditional yogis were wise, and they knew that impurities and uncleanliness, both externally and internally, stand in the way of achieving enlightenment and spiritual liberation. You know, if you're not into that, if you're not into this talk or anything like that, just think about it in the way that when you purify yourself, you have a better connection. You have a better connection, mind, body, and soul. Number one, you have a clear perspective. Not only are you cleaning your belly out, but your brain and your gut are closely interrelated. So when you purify your body, and it always starts first with what you're putting in your mouth, it always starts there. I have to look more into that why. But you know that the solar plexus chakra is responsible. It's our center of energy, where our food is converted into actual energy that we live off of. You know, so you have to remember that. You have to remember to be clean. You know, like we live in a world so much fucking so much BS food. That stuff that we're watching on TV, shows, everything, like it's ridiculous, and we need to take time to purify ourselves for the things that we see and hear and we take in on a daily basis. And the next niyama is going to be santosha, which is the practice of contentment. It includes non-coveting or desiring the possessions of others and accepting where you are. The practice of santosha is not to lose all ambition and be content and sit back in an idle fashion. This practice is meant to accept what you already have and be appreciative of that and move forward from there. This is so huge, guys. I actually started writing in a gratitude journal a month and a half ago. And what it is, it's called scripting. So basically what I'm doing is showing my gratitude as my future self for the things that I'm wanting to manifest now, that I'm wanting in my life. I'm acting as my future self when I write in my journal, and I thank Source for all of the amazing blessings and blessings that have been given to me. And already, because of this mindset, I have already had such a huge shift in my mindset and my attitude, and that's just one thing. But I've also been able to manifest a few things, like my yoga teacher training, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, you know, gratitude, such a high vibration, one of the highest vibrations, and it's so necessary when we're striving in life to remember that you have everything already. You already have everything. You are everything. And the things you are seeking, you know, it's just for the experience and for the feeling. So the third niyama are the tapas, which is the practice of discipline and austerity. It has to do with finding your willpower. Oh, this is one of my favorite topics. I love this because I didn't have willpower before. I was never an athletic person in high school or, you know, grade school or anything like that. And willpower is directly related to physical activity. Like, you have to create that in yourself. It doesn't, nobody's born with it. It's created. So Tapas is refraining from the things that you desire, that you know do not benefit you. It's also doing things that you do not desire to do, but they do benefit you. There will be times when your desires conflict with your true will. During these times, an internal fire is built to burn our mental and physical impurities. Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This fire creates a disciplined passion that pushes us towards our personal greatness. Amazing. Okay, we're moving on to is this the last? Oh, no, this is the fourth niyama. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. So, Svatyaya. And this is the practice of self-study. This is about studying yourself deeply to learn your strengths, your weaknesses, your outwardly desires, and your innermost desires. It's about learning which desires need to be silenced and what stands between you and contentment. It's all about learning about yourself so that you can connect with something greater. This has been huge for me in my journey. I have fallen in love with knowledge of self. I've fallen in love with science of self. I've fallen in love with me again, with my body inside and out. And I actually realized, like, this is a very intelligent machine, and it has the capability to do so much for us in our lives, and we can actually use it for good, and we can produce great results with our minds and our bodies. And this practice, self-study, once you know more, you can do more. So, like, really empower yourself with knowledge. And they say knowledge is power, but it's not. It's really not. The real power comes in the application of that knowledge. So, we are now moving into the last niyama. And this is called Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana. I just want to make a little note and say how excited I am that I'm learning Sanskrit. It's such a pretty cool language. Like, I can't pronounce any of this now, but I'm excited to see where I am in a few months with this. So, this niyama is devotion, dedication, and surrender to the highest love. Oh, that's beautiful. To practice this is to surrender to devotion and dedication produced in your practice to something greater. Everyone has their own personal interpretation of this niyama. For some people, it is a spiritual deity. For others, it's the universe or universal energy. Whatever your personal interpretation of this niyama is, should be acknowledged. This is a twofold concept. It involves karma, yoga, and surrender. Patanjali teaches us that in order to experience the true goal of yoga, we must let go of that ego and let go of the constant intertwining of self with ego. To do this, we have to take the benefits we receive from our practice, our yoga practice, and give them as an offering. Beautiful. That is beautiful. This is known as karma yoga. As we offer karma yoga, we experience connection with a power greater than ourselves. This is the oneness, the surrender. It is the Ishvara Pranidhana. This is amazing to me because it's amazing because the highest of all vibrations is love. It is love. And for you to develop yourself in such a way and, reap rewards and benefits for that, but still give it away, it's huge. It's huge because, like, you can get it back. You have the ability now to get that back, but you've given that energy or that gift to someone else that needed it, And this is what is going to make the world a better place. This is why I want to be a yoga teacher, a certified yoga teacher, and spread the beauty of this practice, because it is so much more than it's made out to be. It's so much more than a billion-dollar industry. It's it has the ability to bring humanity back to its highest state, its potential. And I truly believe that, regardless of all this BS going on in the world, Trump, whatever, I don't even listen to politics. I don't, because I know that I'm good. I'm constantly working on myself, you know. And once you begin to practice in such a way, maybe not the yamas and the niyamas, but any kind of practice that is developing you as a person, and you start to see that in your world, and the benefits of your labor or of your what you've learned, and you can actually share that and make the world a better place. You have to understand that, you know, one high vibrational person is equivalent to hundreds of thousands of low vibrational people. It is strong, it's powerful, and this is why we all want it. This is why we admire people with these qualities and aspects to themselves. And you have to understand, you know, a lot of people think that these things happen overnight, but it takes time, and it's not just time, it's your conscious realization of things. Like they say, move your ego out of the way, because a lot of the times it puts on a vision block of like where we truly are, what reality really is, what we're perceiving. And once you remove that and you see life from the eyes of your soul, it changes things. It changes things. It really does. Now, I really hope that this video has given you some value. I hope that you can put some of these or all of these practices to use in your life. I love the fact that you're here with me now, and that you're learning with me, you're growing with me, we're growing together here. Now, if you liked anything that I said in this video, if you resonated at all with any of this information and knowledge, you want to learn more about yoga, you want to become a better person, I also will be I'll be talking just all about spirituality, sexuality, sensuality, self-love, everything above. Please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my video. And go ahead and click that notification button so that you can get notified whenever I post all these yoga goodies and content. Please actually comment and let me know what you thought about this, and if it's helped you at all in your life, and how it has. Namaste, beautiful soul.